Hi, I'm Mel, and my question is, can you talk about the opportunity to be a part of the upcoming Arrowverse crossover? And what advice would you give Robert Pattinson with his playing Batman in the next live-action film?
Well, first of all, I'm so excited to have been asked to do this crossover episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't done anything on camera in about 20 years. And I started out on the stage and doing only on camera. So this will be a lot of fun. I hope I remember how to do it. And Robert Pattinson, I would say, don't listen to the critics. Ben Affleck got so much crap online when they cast him. And I kept saying to people, give the guy a break, you know, let's see what he does. And then he ended up being fantastic. So don't prejudge. See what he does with it. The interesting thing that Warner Brothers has done is not to give the franchise to any one actor, which is really unusual. Usually they give a franchise to someone and they carry the whole show. This time they've, each, was Michael Keaton, then Val Kilmer, then, George Clooney, and, it's been handed one to the next. And each one, to see the person do it, you see how a different person's persona embodies the character differently. What they bring to the same character can have such a profound difference on it. Like, for example, Mark Hamill's my Joker. He is the Joker. He embodies the Joker. He becomes the Joker when you're with him. He's so brilliant. And then I saw Heath Ledger's Joker, and I thought, wow, this is a whole other kind of crazy. He's not better than Mark, but he's just another kind of crazy from Mark. He's brilliant. I think Pattinson will probably be great in the role. It'll just be different. Because he's a much more boyish kind of look for it, so it'll be a different look.
Thank you.
Sure.
First, I'd just like to say thank you for being the Batman of my generation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Look, I'm the one who feels so lucky to have had the opportunity to do this for 28 years. I mean, it's crazy.
All right, and now I'm going to inject some levity into this. I'm going to ask a question I've heard asked to other celebrities, and I've asked other celebrities, and you and your version of Batman can feel free to answer, but what would you do for a Klondike bar? Disappointed this question.
What wouldn't I do for a Klondike bar? I think it's the correct question.
Thank you.
Because I am the goddamn Batman.
I actually don't have a question, I have more of a request. I was wondering if you would sing Am I Blue?
Please.
It always comes when I'm like not ready. Don't judge, please don't judge. Am I blue? Am I blue? Ain't these tears in these eyes telling you there was a time I was her only one, but now I'm the sad and lonely one, lonely.
You take other requests? Oh, it's great. Oh, I want to request Freebird.
Who would you want to play your version of Batman today on the live screen? Do you have an actor that sticks out in your mind? I don't want this to take away from Robert Pattinson, but for your version of Batman from the past 28 years, who would you think would be the best fit for that?
Off the top of my head, I think Hugh Jackman.
It's like looking in a mirror.
I think that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. He'd be good. And who else? John Hamm. Think about it. He'd be great as Bruce Wayne. That's the thing about the role. It's two roles. And a lot of people who nail Bruce Wayne don't nail Batman. And who nail Batman don't necessarily nail Bruce Wayne, you know what I mean? I know Hugh Jackman could do both though. He'd be great. I suspect John Hamm could too. So that's off the top of my head.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
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 As a person who grew up watching these movies and watching these shows, I was wondering when you were looking over your progress and how you were working, did you feel like you were Batman?
That's a good question. First of all, when you said when you're looking over your progress or looking over your work, it's so interesting. People ask all the time, what's it like to have created a legacy of 27 years of work? And when you're in the middle of it, you don't see it. All you see is the next step on the journey. You know what I mean? It's like when you ask someone in a marathon, what's running 27 miles feel like? They don't know. They only know what running the last block felt like. You know what I mean? One job leads to the next job, leads to the next job, leads to the next job. And then suddenly you turn around and you think, wow, I've got 27 years of work behind me. I became very closely attuned to playing the character. The wonderful thing about the role is that he has no superpowers. What appeals to people about him is his humanity, is the fact that he is just a flawed person, a deeply flawed person, who overcomes his flaws to help heal the world. It's such a noble character, but I think it's his humanity and his flaws that make people love him so much and relate to him so much. I've had so many people come up to me. There's a wonderful story, actually, I can tell the story here because we're in Chicago. 6 months ago, 9 months ago, maybe it was a year ago, a woman came up to me at a Comic-Con. And it's the reason I love to go to Comic-Cons, because I get to interact with the audience. And she said, I just have to hold you. I have to. I said, sure, of course. And I gave her a hug, and as we were hugging, she started to cry. And I said, it's okay, what's the problem? She said, you don't understand. You don't understand, you saved me. I said, no. She said, yes. She said, I grew up in the projects on the south side of Chicago. And everyone I know from my house is either dead or in jail. She said, I got out because every afternoon I had Batman. And I had you teaching me between right and wrong. And I had that wonderful world to go to every afternoon. And it was just such a great story about how we forget how difficult life is for so many people. You know, you get so tied up in your own work, getting through life, forget how hard it is for so many people. And to know that you have that kind of an effect on someone to help them get through something like that. I was at San Diego Comic-Con just a few weeks ago, and you know, it's 150,000 people, it's insane. And you do a panel in a studio that's 5 times this size and it's sold out. They're crazy. And they always have handlers that get you on and off the stage to keep the traffic flowing. And I had just done a big panel, and they were pushing me off the stage, and just then this guy comes running down from the audience, waving something like this, and my handler's pushing me, and I went, but there's a guy there. She said, no, you gotta go. I said, well, just wait 1 second. And I went over to get what he was giving, and he pushed something in my hand, a letter, and he grabbed me, and he started going like this, and I realized he was deaf. And he called over to his interpreter, and his interpreter said, oh, he wants you to have this letter because Batman saved his life. You saved his life. And I said, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm the voice of the character. And he can't hear. So how can I be the one that means something to him? But he just really, it was such a profound moment. And I got back to my hotel room and I read the letter. And my God, he hadn't been born deaf. He lost his hearing when he was 5 years old, 6 years old, to an infection. And the last things he remembers hearing were the Batman cartoons. And he was being told he had to get through this illness in the hospital. And Batman was always telling people to struggle on, to fight on, to never give up, to never, never, never give up. And he kept hearing that. And the last thing he heard was, "Am I blue?" And it was just heartbreaking. And it was so amazing to me. And he said, and now, the end of the letter was, and now I get to watch your shows with my 6-year-old son. Not only had he survived, but he triumphed. He has a family now, you know what I mean? And he's sharing it with his children. And I said, so I put out on Twitter, I said, whoever put that letter in my hand, thank you so much. That means the world to me, that you shared this with me. For an actor to know that he has that kind of an effect on somebody. And he immediately tweeted back with the picture of us hugging on the stage. His handler, his interpreter, had a camera. And she took a picture of it. And I said, this is like a staged event. No one's going to believe this was accidental. But it was entirely accidental. So you ask, what's it like to have created a legacy like this, a lifetime of work on a show? That's what it's like. When you get to know that you meet the 29-year-old father who never gave up when his childhood became a nightmare. Can you imagine 5 and losing your hearing? Because of the cartoon you gave voice to was encouraging him to keep on going. I mean, wow. Everyone wants to have a purpose in their life. Everyone wants to feel like you're doing something with your life. And actors, let's face it, we have pretty frivolous lives. But every now and then you get to have something that you create really affect somebody. And that's a powerful thing. So. Sure.
Speaking of courage,